assistance.
What's up, agents? Biz here with another Division 2 video. This installment is going to turn the damage math up to the max as we head to head to look at 3 ways DPS builds get made. By the end of this video, hopefully we'll bring a little clarity to which setup is the most efficient. As always, whether you're new here or you've been hanging around since the dawn of the Bronze Age, you are welcome here. We're getting better together here on this channel, and I'm grateful to have you all along for the ride. If you've yet to do so, what are you waiting for? Take a sec and hit that like and subscribe button. That small click does big things for this channel, so consider supporting in that way. While you're helping me and the channel out, help me help you guys out and comment below if there's something you're having a hard time building, and we'll figure it out together. Your guys' comments really do dictate what I'm setting up, so let me know. While you think on that, let's strap in, crack a cool can of liquid death, and get ready to crunch these numbers. So, in chatting with you guys, I've been seeing a lot of Walker Harris being thrown in the mix for DPS builds that you like to run. It had been a minute since I set something up with this brand set, so I thought, why not compare this to what I normally run? See, I've always been of the persuasion that the best way to set up for DPS was to lean on Providence Defense and a few other of the greatest hits and let the bullets speak for themselves. The brand bonuses to headshot damage, crit chance, and damage seem like the best way to do damage. Seems like it's time to set up some builds and get to the math. For this experiment, we're going to look at 3 ways you can build. We will then run the numbers in the damage formula and see which of the 3 are the most efficient. For those not familiar with the damage formula in Division 2, I'll post a little infographic so you can plug your own numbers in. Again, I'm also going to link the Abrax's video where I got all this information from. He made a very thorough video explaining the differences in additive and multiplicative damage, so check him out. If you have any questions running your own numbers, drop a comment below and I'll do what I can to help you out. Let's get better together. To keep this experiment tightly controlled, we will be using the same weapons and 3 of the same gear pieces. All 3 builds will also be a 4 red, 2 blue core setup on a firewall specialization. For those 3 pieces and weapons, we go gear first, and we have 1 piece of Grupo Sombra, the Contractor Gloves, and the Ridgeway's Pride. The Ridgeway Bleed is one of my favorite ways to build. As a Predator's Mark enthusiast, this shouldn't come as a surprise. Also, the Contractor Gloves are there for the bonus damage to armor. We'll get into that and why I'm not using my favorite damage target out of cover from Fox's Prayer in a little bit. For the weapons, we go with the Police M4 and a Vector 9mm SBR, both with Sadist on them. I also have damaged armor on the Police M4. Again, getting that stacked for all 3, and you'll see why. The difference in these setups will come from the 3 other pieces. So build 1, we're going with Walker Harris. So in doing this, we only need 2 pieces for that weapon damage and damage to armor multiplicative bonus. For that 3rd piece, we're going to buff our AR damage with a Fenris backpack. Moving into build 2, we see those 3 pieces being filled with the current damage champion in Providence Defense. These 3 pieces will grant buffs to headshot damage, crit hit chance, and crit hit damage, bringing those numbers up substantially. Now, build 3 came in kind of last minute, and in it, we're going to 3 pieces of Sokolov Concern. Now, this brand set is similar to Providence, only you sub in SMG damage for that 1 piece of headshot damage. So when we go to the stat sheet, builds 2 and 3 absolutely shred build 1's crit chance and damage. There's no denying that. One thing to keep in mind, though, is crit damage is ultimately linked to crit chance. That meaning, if you have, in the case of build 2, 189.2% crit damage with 55% crit chance, that means 45.5% of the time, you're not doing that crazy crit damage. When you take that into consideration, build 1, with the same attribute rolls to crit chance and damage, will still have a respectable amount of those, sitting at about 38.6% chance on the Police M4, and 161.9% damage. The difference, and where build 1 will always outperform, is the multiplicative damage from the Walker Harris brand set bonus. This set grants 5% multiplicative weapon damage damage to armor, and damage to health for each of the brand set bonuses. While we only use 2, those buffs to overall weapon damage and armor become a difference maker between all 3 of these builds. I also mentioned earlier that we get back to why damage to armor is so special in this game right now. Well, a few videos ago, I was informed that shields count as armor, and when an enemy's behind them, they negate damage to targets out of cover. This makes damage to armor a must when in PvP against the shield meta. It's too invaluable in the current state of the game. When you look at the math, overall, the damage per bullet surplus of about 30,000 may seem negligible. When you expand out to the bigger picture of, say, a whole magazine from that M4, the damage difference on a 50-round magazine is near 1.5 million damage. That's a whole other agent down. Overall, numbers don't lie, and the Walker-Harris setup should beat out a Providence or Sokolov crit build in overall damage numbers over time. You as the agent need to go with what you're most comfortable with and draw your own conclusions though. If you find a better way to dish out damage, let's talk about it in the comments below. Again, let's all get better together. Either way, that's going to wrap things up for us today. Thank you so much for stopping by and sitting through all that math. I hope in sharing the damage formula, you guys can really start plugging your numbers in and seeing what works for you. As always, make sure if you haven't, please consider supporting the channel with a like, subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. Biz out.
Enemy can't keep up. They're about to get pulled out.
Boost now active.